All right, welcome. Today we're talking about rotation, which is a spin, and it could be a 90 degree, 180 degree, or a 270 degree rotation. And the understanding there is that each of these quadrants, this being quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4, each of these quadrants represents basically 90 degrees. So if I'm shifting an image 90 degrees, I'm going one quadrant over. If I'm going 180 degrees, I'd be going to this quadrant. And if I was going 270 degrees, I would end up in the third quadrant here. Now, this was shown to you in a clockwise motion, which means I'm spinning more towards the right. You could get a counterclockwise in which this would be 90, and this would be 180, and this would be 270. So this would be basically your two spins, one clockwise and one in red counterclockwise. What I like to do is always using graph paper, but I kind of like, let's say we wanted to do a 90 degree clockwise. What I like to do is spin my image here 90 degrees. So basically I've just spun it one time, and that gives me my 90 degrees. And then I look at these coordinates here as if this were y plus and x plus, basically as if my graph were right side up, which means this point here would be +4, and this point here would be 6. And what I like to do is record that A is 6, 4. I like to record B is 6, 2. C is 2, 4. And D is 2, 2. So if I record my coordinates, maybe like on a Post-it note or somewhere else, just where it would be if I had spun it 90 degrees, that could be helpful, taking note of that. And then when I spin it back, let's see our coordinates there. All I would do is say, okay, let me go to 6, 4, 6, 2. And again, I know my shape is a 2x4, so I could also just shape it from there. But I know my A was at 6, 4. I know my B was at 6, 2. This is where my C was, just by using my coordinates. Now, if I wanted to go 270, so we did a 90 degree clockwise. A 180 would put in the bottom right. And let's just say I wanted to do a 270 clockwise. I know 270 is 3 90 degree spins, so I would end up 1, 2, 3. I would end up in this bottom left corner here. So what I want to do is take my image and spin it to get it to the bottom left corner. So I've now spun that shape to the bottom left corner. Now my numbers, again, this is my graph right side up. So I'm looking at this like this is my y, these are my y plus, and these here are my x plus. So here I have actually a -6 and a -2 for my b coordinate. -6, -2, right? And then you're understanding like this is my x minus and this is my y minus. I've spun it and I'm looking at it as if the graph is right side up. My A is -6, -4. And there is a pattern if you see that the coordinates stay the same but the signs changes. And you could go through that, but I believe seeing it, how it's supposed to look, is a great way to look at how to do rotations. And then all I need to do is spin back 90, 180, 270 back to where I started. And then plot my new points, which I have down here on my bottom left, -6, -2, -6, -4, It's a 2x4. Here's my new shape in the bottom left. Here's my B, my A, letter D, and C. And this is basically how I just spun a 270 clockwise. So it all depends how many spins you're making. There could be one in between that would be 180, which would have put this shape here. It would have looked, you could start getting good at spinning it. It would look something like this, and I know my B is closer to the line. This is how my 180 would look here. And it's that idea of congruency and that we're spinning the shapes. They maintain the same size and shape, and if we spun it all the way back around, it would end up right back where we started. There would be your 360 clockwise. Now, if you want to understand how to do a counterclockwise, it's all the same idea. It's just we're spinning now this way. So on your graph, if you started here, your 90 degree would be here, your 180 would be. So it's all the same principles, all the same rules, but you're spinning your graph left, where clockwise you were spinning it right. And of course, this stuff is going to take some practice, which we'll be doing. So I hope this helps.